Help KZOM Radio build towards the future. We are currently looking to expand our network and need all the help and support we can get. Please visit kzomradio.com/fundraising for details. Hey everyone, welcome back to another great episode of KZOM Radio's Know Your Legends, Unsolved Murders. My name is Matt Jarbo and I'm going to be your host through this audio journey. Without further delay, we're going to get right into the Chicago Tylenol murders. These occurred when 7 people died after taking pain relief medicine capsules that had been poisoned. The poisonings, codenamed Timers from the FBI, took place in late 1982 in Chicago. These poisonings involved extra-strength Tylenol capsules manufactured by the McNeil Consumer Healthcare, which had been laced with potassium cyanide. The incidents led to reforms in the packaging of over-the-counter substances and to federal anti-tampering laws. The case remains unsolved and no suspects have been charged. A $100,000 reward offered by Johnson & Johnson, the McNeil's parent company, for the capture and conviction of the Tylenol killer has not been claimed to this date. And we're looking at 30 years. So if you guys want to make $100,000, solve this case, I'm going to give you the information right now. The incidents. On the morning of September 29th, 1982, 12-year-old Mary Kellerman of Elk Grove Village, Illinois, died after taking a capsule of extra-strength Tylenol. Adam Janis of Arlington Heights, Illinois, died in the hospital shortly thereafter. Adam's brother Stanley of Lisley, Illinois, and sister-in-law Teresa died after gathering to mourn his death, having taken pills from the same bottle. Soon afterward, Mary McFarland of Elmhurst, Illinois, and Paula Prince of Chicago and Mary Reiner of Winfield also died in similar incidents. Investigators soon discovered the Tylenol link. Urgent warnings were broadcast, and police drove through Chicago neighborhoods, issuing warnings over loudspeakers. As the tampered-with bottles came from different factories, and the 7 deaths had all occurred in the Chicago area, the possibility of sabotage during production was ruled out. Instead, the culprit was believed to have entered various supermarkets and drugstores over a period of weeks, removed packages of Tylenol from the shelves, adulterated their contents with solid cyanide compound at another location, and then replaced the bottles. In addition to the 5 bottles which led to the victims' deaths, 3 other tampered-with bottles were discovered. Johnson & Johnson distributed warnings to hospitals and distributors and halted Tylenol production and advertising. On October 5, 1982, it issued a nationwide recall of Tylenol products. An estimated 31 million bottles were in circulation, with a retail value of over $100 million. The company had also advertised in the national media for individuals not to consume any products that contained acetaminophen. When it was determined that only capsules were tampered with, they offered to exchange all Tylenol capsules already purchased by the public with solid tablets. Suspects. During the initial investigations, a man named James W. Lewis sent a letter to Johnson & Johnson demanding $1 million to stop the cyanide-induced murders. Police were unable to link him with the crimes as he and his wife were living in New York City at the time. He was convicted of extortion, served 13 years of a 20-year sentence, and was released in 1995 on parole. WCVB Channel 5 of Boston reported that court documents released in early 2009 showed Department of Justice investigators concluded suspects James W. Lewis, who now lives in Cambridge, Massachusetts, was responsible for the poisonings, despite the fact they did not have enough evidence to charge him. Lewis has denied responsibility for the poisonings for several years. A second man, Roger Arnold, was investigated and cleared of the killings. He had a nervous breakdown due to the media attention, which he blamed on Marty Sinclair, a bar owner. In the summer of 1983, Arnold shot and killed John Stanisha, for whom he took for Sinclair. Stanisha was an innocent man who did not know Arnold. Arnold was convicted in January 1984 and served 15 years of a 30-year sentence for second-degree murder. He died in 2008. Lori Dan, who poisoned and shot victims in a May 1988 rampage in and around Winnetka, Illinois, was briefly considered as a suspect, but no direct connection was found. On May 19, 2011, FBI requested DNA samples from Ted Kaczynski, known as the Unabomber, as part of their investigation into the killings. The media gave Johnson & Johnson much positive coverage for its handling of the crisis. For example, an article in the Washington Post said, "Johnson & Johnson has effectively demonstrated how a major business ought to handle a disaster." The article further stated that this is no 3 Mile Island incident in which the company's response did more damage than the original incident, and applauded the company for being honest with the public. In addition to issuing the recall, the company established relations with the Chicago Police Department, the FBI, and the Food and Drug Administration. This way, it could have a part in searching for the person who laced the capsules, and they could help prevent further tamperings. Well, at the time of the scare, the company's market share collapsed from 35% to 8%. It rebounded in less than a year, a move credited to the company's prompt and aggressive reaction. In November, it reintroduced capsules, but in a new triple-sealed package. Coupled with heavy price promotions, and within several years, Tylenol had become the most popular over-the-counter drug in the U.S. A number of copycat attacks involving Tylenol and other products ensued during the following years. One of these incidents occurred in the Chicago area. Unlike Tylenol, it actually forced the end of the product affected by the hoax. And Caprin from Procter & Gamble. The incident inspired the pharmaceutical, food, and consumer product industries to develop tamper-resistant packaging, such as induction seals and improved quality control methods. Moreover, product tampering was made a federal crime. Additionally, the tragedy prompted the pharmaceutical industry to move away from capsules, which were easy to contaminate as foreign substances could easily be placed inside without obvious signs of tampering. Within a year, the FDA introduced more stringent regulations to avoid product tampering. This led to the eventual replacement of the capsule with the solid caplet. Ongoing investigations. In early January 2009, Illinois authorities renewed the investigation. Federal agents searched the home of Lewis in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and seized a number of items. In Chicago, an FBI spokesman declined to comment but said, "We'll have something to release later, possibly." Law enforcement officials have received a number of tips related to the case coinciding with its anniversary. In a written statement, the FBI explained, "This review was prompted, in part, by the recent 25th anniversary of this crime and the resulting publicity. Further, given the many recent advances in forensic technology, it was only natural that a second look be taken at the case and recovered evidence." In January 2010, both Lewis and his wife submitted DNA samples and fingerprints to authorities. Lewis stated, "If the FBI plays fair, I have nothing to worry about." On May 19, 2011, the FBI requested DNA samples from the Unabomber Ted Kaczynski in connection with the Tylenol murders. Kaczynski denied having ever possessed potassium cyanide. The investigation is still underway. The first 4 Unabomber crimes happened in Chicago and its suburbs from 1978 to 1980. And Kaczynski's parents had a suburb in Chicago of Lombard, Illinois in 1982, where he stayed occasionally. So interesting. In Chicago, someone tampered with over-the-counter drugs. I mean, they obviously weren't, targeting people directly, it looked like. Although, it looked like 4 people died from the same bottle. So it's almost like, did you know they were going to go there? Did you want to take them out? And that 12-year-old girl got one instead? Well, no, because Elk Grove Village and Arlington Heights are not connected. I don't know. Tough one. So I'm curious, what are your thoughts on the Chicago Tylenol killer? Do you think that it was this Lewis guy? Do you think that it was James W. Lewis? Do you think it was him? Do you think it could have been the Unabomber? What are your theories? I want to know. Let us know at Kazom Radio at Twitter, Kazom Radio on Facebook, KazomRadio.com. I'm Matt Jarbo. I'll see you guys next week on the show. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Kazom Radio's Know Your Legends, Unsolved Murders. If you'd like to advertise on this podcast, please visit KazomRadio.com for details.